if you look just from your statement, from a figure of 279,000 the previous financial year to 13 million shillings this year, I think that's phenomenal growth. But I think this is an area where there's been lack of emphasis, if I may put it that way, because of the previous practices. A lot of the houses that became county property were handed over by the national government. But by the time we were taking over those properties, they are all already tenants. In fact, most of the rents that are owed are historical, from 10, 15 years ago. So it makes rent collection difficult. We are in constant discussions with the National Land Commission. I think they're coming to Siaya in about 2-3 weeks to determine this question of title deeds, not only to houses where residential houses, but you find such essential properties owned by the county, including the county hospital, the stadium, the county headquarters, the county assembly. All of them lack titles. And that's why we engaged the National Land Commission to try and find a pathway towards a faster way of titling properties belonging to the county.
Governor, if I was to just interrupt, the day after tomorrow, it will be 25th of June, and it will be 1 year since Kenyans came out to protest against a finance bill. And there is a generation that does not know that there used to be a poll tax in this country. A poll tax was a tax on every adult, isn't it? And it was assumed that if you're an adult, you must be able to go out and work, and you need to pay a tax. My generation didn't see it. I only hear about it from the songs of Nyatiti. I think the Gwanglelo of this world. They tell stories of that era. Personally, my view has never been to tax individuals irrespective of whether they are able or disabled, working or not. Tax should be on the basis of service. Tax should be on the basis of productivity. So we can push you to do a valuation roll. We can push you to come up with different rates for Siaya Town and Bondo Town, but you'll never be able to collect. In fact, you'll be voted out of office for imposing high taxes. In fact, it's part of the opposition. When you declare an area a town or a municipality, or it becomes a city, then the rates become different. The conversation we should be having is linking the gross county product, its growth, to the growth of on-source revenue. We might not be able to get to the bottom of that conversation right now, but please let it be on record, clerks, when you're writing our report, that we made the observation that property rent from a collection of 279,000 grew by 13 million. Now, the question would be, was someone stealing from the county? Because there's no way you can move from 279,000 to 13 million on the same economic fundamentals. On advertising, outdoor advertising, you previously collected 2 million and then you reported 11 million. With the same economic fundamentals, was someone stealing in 2022, 2023? And then the final question is, the receiver of revenue, was he or she the receiver of revenue in that duration? Governor?
I think there are some that are explainable. Advertising, we had many activities last year that attracted a lot of outdoor advertising on our billboards. For example, when we had the Pinlo Festival and the Migwena Festival, there was a lot of advertising that, were fees that were being paid.
So you are satisfied that we are not stealing from the county in the prior years?
No. I'm just explaining the rise, but also I think the controls are working a lot better, and that's why there's that phenomenon.
Oh, okay, let's leave it there. Minority Leader, please go on record.
Yes, thank you.
And you came when we were just ending the conversation, so go on record and you can also make some remarks if necessary.
Thank you, Chair. My name is retired Justice Stewart Mazayo. I am the Senator of Kilifi County and the Minority Leader in the Senate. I think in the same capacity as my senior brother, James Orengo. I'm here as a friend of the committee to see how they're doing, and I can see with our able chairman, you're doing very well. I came also to say hello to the delegation of Siaya, which is being led by my brother, James Orengo, who has been our senator also in this parliament, and a very respected person in this country as one of the greatest lawyers we have. Thank you so much, Chair.
Thank you, Senator Mazayo. We are concluding, and I will repeat the directives you have made. We have taken note of the issues that are resolved. The issues that are not resolved or partially resolved shall form part of the next audit cycle. But again, I want to congratulate the County Assembly for making our life easy. If the rest of the county assemblies could do this, then when the governors come to Nairobi, we will have broad policy conversations. We will not have to go into payment vouchers. Indeed, Governor, of late, and Senator Sifuna, you might confirm this, that of late we have not been receiving those kind of volumes of documents. Your volumes are too many. The audit should not happen at the Senate. The audit should happen at the county. When you come to the Senate, we should have conversations on policy, conversations on legislative matters. That then brings us to a close with that clarity that the Auditor General has work to do in the 2024-2025 audit. Could we have closing remarks? Senator Cherake,
maybe a
go
question,
ahead.
who is Odinga Jackton Ouma, Chief Officer of Finance? Is he here with us? What is your ISPAC number? Or what is your background? Through the chair.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, I'm an accountant. I've done up to part 2 of CPA.
So you don't have ISPAC number?
Yes, Chair.
You are the one who signed off the financial statements?
No.
No, why are you denying and it is here?
It's
You signed in what capacity? Chief Officer?
as Chief Officer.
So, Chief Officer...
Why is the CCM refusing that he didn't sign? Or the spirit of resisting?
Honorable members, I think the responsibility is on us to legislate minimum qualifications for Chief Officer Finance.
Okay.
There we have failed,
Yes.
because a Chief Officer Finance really should have certain professional qualifications, just the same way a county attorney is required to be a member of the Law Society of Kenya. I think that has been a failure on our part.
Finally, Geoffrey Ochieng.
He's not here.
Is Geoffrey Ochieng with us? What is the reason he's not here, Governor? Through the chair.
Why? Who is Geoffrey Ochieng? Maybe guide the chair so that we confirm the
he is
relevance of
one,
the question.
There are 2 people who signed financial statements of Odinga Jackton Ouma, CEO of Finance, and also Geoffrey Ochieng, Head of Accounting Unit.
Let us leave it to the Auditor General to verify. And OAG, that must be the first thing you check.
Kindly, with the indulgence, that's a fair question.
Senator Cherake.
Fair question, Chair. I really want to know why he's not here and he's the one who signed off. If he can say he's sick or unwell or he has a permission of government, then we leave it like
Governor, quick response.
He was with me until about 2 days ago, but I thought he would be here, but I'm being told he was feeling unwell. Okay. But I probably cannot vouch for that.
Again, the clarity we must provide to counties, because we demand that the CEO, who is the governor, is here. But I think we need to give clarity that the signatories to the financial statements must accompany the governor, as well as the chair of the county audit board as well as the secretary of the county audit board, who is the internal auditor. Clerks, that's something we have agreed on, that we shall communicate to entities. In terms of closing, any, if there is any matter or any comment in closing, conscious that we have another meeting in less than 1 hour, Senator Wambua, we'll limit ourselves to 2 minutes max.
Yes, Chair, we'll try. Chair, I've come in when there was a conversation around a rise in property rent from 279,000 to that 10 million. I got the tail end of it. I'm not sure, Chair, whether you canvass this issue of miscellaneous receipts. If you did, then I will look at the answer, because I'm seeing a dip of almost 20 million, from 27,626,000 to 7 million. But if that was canvassed, then I can always look at
those are the issues we asked the Auditor General to look at in the substantive audit. We didn't speak to that exactly, but we pointed out a few other variances.
Okay.
I think in terms of closing, let's just restrict ourselves to any recommendation to the governor rather than going back to the numbers.
Chair, maybe in closing I can say 2 things. One is, Governor, I hope you're being a member of Council of Governors, although it looks like it's a club of billionaires, but I want to request you that we anchor the COG into law. Please, on the issue of division of revenue, you have seen the mediated version that was debated in Parliament, National Assembly last week. Our position was that counties must get 465 billion Kenya shillings. Governor, as you go back to consult your colleagues, please, it is not fair to counties that we're having a national budget of 4.2 trillion Kenya shillings, yet counties are getting 415 billion. I hope, Governor, as you go back, please kindly stand with the Senate. And then on issue of road maintenance levy fund, I want to thank you, because at least the position of the Senate on that 11 billion that is RLMF should go to counties, because we are better placed to know roads that need to be fixed within Siaya. And I hope, as even the National Assembly appeal, and I hope I saw your colleagues wanting to go Nyuma 10 to try and negotiate with National Assembly. I don't know why. Yet the position should be clear that us as parliamentarians, we should do legislation, oversight, representation, and budget making process. The implementation should be done by national executive and county executive. Governor, as you go back, I wish you well. You are a man that is respected in this country. And Chair, when we serve him, you could not know that it was Orengo. He's a man who is very humble. Governor, I was happy to see you in State House leading the CI delegation. Let us partner so that for the benefit of this country and a broad base. I thank you, Chair.
The rest of the members, I think let's restrict ourselves to the business before us.
Chair, I humbly beg that we don't make those kind of political statements, because we may want to answer those political statements.
I have given guidance to my members.
They are totally uncalled for.
Order, Governor. I had said earlier,
But
and
it
you
was
uploaded. I'm on your side, Chararke. I said earlier, and the governor uploaded, that there's freedom of speech in Parliament. So
Okay.
Senator Chararke has his freedom of speech.
But
so,
it's a fact.
No, it's your opinion. Honorable members, anybody with a pressing closing remark?
I could say it was Wamunyororo, he was there.
Governor, you are treading on dangerous grounds. You are the one who needs to withdraw some of the names that you are dropping here. Governor, you are closing, I think maybe Senator Madzayo, and then I allow the governor to make some closing remarks. I am aware he had reached out to me that he has another engagement, but that is not the reason why we are closing. We are closing because Kenyani and his team have done an excellent job of going through the details, and so we have gotten to the point where we have to push everything to the next audit cycle. So our leader in the House, I'll grant you an opportunity if there's anything you need to say, and then the governor will close.
Thank you very much, Chair. I think all I want to say is that the delegation from Siaya County, you're most welcome to come to the Senate. And we're happy to have you here. I believe I wasn't here earlier, but I believe your performance, led by the distinguished Senator Governor James, has performed well, and it's up to the committee now to make its own conclusive remarks, which I believe will go a long way to establish Senate as the upper house. I thank you so much and wish you well. God bless you.
Governor, in closing?
I want to thank the committee and thank the Senate as a house. The stand you have taken in matters devolution cannot escape our attention, particularly when it comes to the division of revenue. I think over the years, the Senate has stood as an institution, and more so during the current period. Secondly, on the question of the road levy, I think again we are standing together, and we need patriots in both houses to make devolution work. Otherwise, Chair, thank you, and I value the issue of oversight. This is a constitutional role. We take it seriously, and whatever discomfort parties that appear before you may feel, at the end of the day, is a constitutional role which must be fulfilled, and you don't do it to please yourself, you do it on behalf of the people of Kenya, in accordance with the Constitution. I thank you.
Thank you. That brings us to the end of our meeting. I will not want to take too much time on further remarks because we are supposed to reconvene again at 2:30. The meeting is therefore adjourned. Sorry? Yeah, so we adjourn.